People get ready. What's happening? This is Gavin Mehl Channel. Great day. We're coming into space here in a moment. This is going to be on the record about machines, converging, our paying machines. Sanctuary goes live on Bitcoin this week. What, 100 people in here, bro? My thread got hijacked. It's all good. The thread got hijacked. Because I wanted to. It was supposed to have a massive boost on 20,000 people. Got messed up. Things happen. We're gonna freaking launch. So I'm gonna get started. Stay tuned. This is gonna be a full breakdown of how this works, about how machines are gonna be paying machines. AI goes live. What's up, y'all? It's a great day. Gavin Mehl here. We're going to do the machines are paying machines space here as Sanctuary goes live on Bitcoin SV. So there's been a problem here that has been going on over the last, I'd say, well, since Bitcoin started, and there isn't enough actual real use case going on where true utility happens other than social media. Social media, yes, but true demand and use case. And I never saw 3.5 years ago, I never saw AI coming. It came out of nowhere. So for me, I was just not paying attention. I wasn't interested in the beginning. When AI first came across my desk, when Mark Fidelman hit me up and he's like, you got to check out this AI. Oh my gosh, what is this? And I heard about it before that, but I never looked at it till then, until he showed me this thing called po.com. And I thought, okay, I'll subscribe. And I bought into it. So, but since then, it's just been like, there's this massive movement where we knew that the AI was going to be the game changer with Bitcoin and Bitcoin SV, but we just never knew how. So so complicated. Nobody could figure things out. And there's not enough, just hard. It was just hard. It's hard work. So, but now that this indelible thing has come out, Ryan has really been taking that, running with things massively. And he's just done Brian Bennett, and he's I'm a Black Wolf with indelible. He's been able to basically launch this AI system where it's got a continuity engine. So what it does, first of all, I'm like an AI power user. I have been for like 3.5 years. I've been paying a bunch of money every single month just to these centralized companies to use my information. So now I'm trying to wean myself off of that. By doing that, it's what I've noticed is that I've been running tests where I run the system Claude Code with virtual VS logged on chain on Bitcoin SV versus a system like, let's say, Grok or Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever, all these different systems. And the system with memory, the continuity engine, blows it out of the water. It's not even close. I'll give you an example of what happened today. So I'm writing a paper. I'm writing actually an opposition to Demur in a legal case I've got going on. So I write this opposition, and there was a very essential argument I had to make. Like, it was absolutely critical. And I had already briefed the bot inside of the indelible bot, which is Virtual Studio, Claude Code, and it's got the memory logged on Bitcoin SV. I briefed it in there. That was like 3 weeks ago when I first got it. And I just kind of forgot about it, and I was working on it in Grok. Grok missed the whole thing, and I was ready to file the brief, and I thought, let me just run it one more time through the indelible bot with the memory. I ran the brief through there, and it said, you missed the most important part that we talked about 3 weeks ago. And I thought, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. It remembered. And it called out this one the most important part, like the winning. It's called what you call in a court case. It's called the winning point. You have one winning point. That winning point, it guarantees your win no matter what else. If all else fails, your winning point. So the winning point, I left out of the whole brief in the opposition. And then once I came back to the indelible bot with the memory, the continuity engine, it reminded me, hey, you forgot your winning point. Now, and it pointed me back to it. So I wrote that in there. It saved my neck today. And that's just a simple example of how important it is, because this other bot, even though I told Grok about it before, it didn't remember. It didn't remember. I had no idea what we were. It has no memory. It has no continuity. It says it remembers. It promises me. It guarantees it remembers, but it doesn't remember. It doesn't prove it. And so that's the big difference, is I actually could see the conversations on chain now. For me, that's really where I've been at. Like, that's the utility I've been getting. But what I haven't seen is the agent economy yet. The agents are the big thing, where all these agents are rolling out now. And the agents are going to be, what I want to see is how I make a residual income from the agents. How do I make money with the agents and send them to work to make money online? I want to see that. So what we talked about doing was like launching these agents. Ryan talked about launching these agents and then the agents economy to begin right now. I know he's been working his ass off on it around the clock for the last 6 months. So I don't know exactly where it's at in the way of like, I haven't used it yet, but I can tell you what I know is the system I am using is freaking, I gave you the example. It's accurate. It doesn't lie to me. It tells me the truth, and the only times I've ever gotten frustrated with it, I realized it was user error. And I'm the first one to admit it. When I was wrong, dude. And I had user error on the system, but I see lies all the time on ChatGPT, on Gemini and Grok, lies constantly. In fact, it lies so bad that it will make things up and it will tell me that it swears it's accurate and it's checked it, but then again, it's not. But at least, with Grok, I can see the 70 web pages it searches. I like that. And so at least I know it might not be accurate, but at least I have kind of an idea. And so if it's not important, like I want to know the score of the baseball game, I'll just search on Grok, dude. It'll tell me. That's fine. It's not important. Who cares? It's not a big deal. But if it's actually as important as me filing an opposition to a legal brief, it's a winning point to my case, I'm definitely going to run it through the memory engine, the continuity system, to make sure 100% that I've got a freaking accurate, reading. Of course, it is only as smart as I make it. That's the thing, is it's only as smart as I make it. I think one of the examples is I had over the weekend, I got like a lawyer friend of mine and another legal friend of mine on the new indelible system. And they're power users on AI. They're already using all these paid bots for Perplexity and Claude and Poe and Chat. I mean, these are all paid pro members. They're using them like crazy. And so it was it was like, it's tough to get started on it. But once I got it rolled out and got it going, they're like, oh, it's not doing everything. I was like, no, it doesn't know anything. It's a baby. For me, it's the same thing. It took me a month to like get used to it. Once it it had like 1,000 chats with it or whatever. I don't know how many times, but enough. Then it started to realize like what I want to hear, what I like. I don't like using the M dash ever. It knows, don't ever use M dash. I'm not a person that likes using that word. That single. It's little slogans. My preferences I want. But where this is actually going is it's going to go to like military grade, because this is what's going to be required to go to military grade encryption for all this stuff. I mean, if you think about it, when I know Vince is on here, we saw that U.S. Army guy testify before Congress. We don't really know what he was talking about, whether it was BSV or Bitcoin or what. We don't know, but we don't have any proof. But we think it was could have been the Sentinel node, but we don't know. But either way, what he really needs is AI that has a memory that can be all logged on chain, and it can be the most advanced AI there is. See, imagine having a really smart person, a person with a gift. You're a brainiac. You're like the smart, 200 IQ, but you have total amnesia, Groundhog Day. Every day you wake up the next morning and you don't remember how smart you were the day before. You're still smart, but you don't remember the day before. What good is that? Like, that's like halfway okay. Like, it's okay for quick questions, but like it's not trustworthy at all. Like, and that's where we are in the current state of AI. And people who say it's not that way, prove it to me. Show me the transaction logs. And then otherwise it's not, it is that way. Because I've already had, everybody tries to tell me, oh, it's not that way. It's fixed. I'm like, show me, prove it to me, because I will prove it to you on my end. I can prove everything I'm saying through transactions on chain. Casey Nicole, talk to me. Unmute.
Hello. Just listening to all of this. I mean, it makes perfect sense what you're saying, especially about the court cases and stuff. That's really helpful. Yeah, we can't have this type of a technology with amnesia every morning.
Right. I mean, imagine you're trying to do something super important and then you need to, in order to do it. Oh, can you invite Ryan up and Bailey up too as well? And anybody else? I think I left the stage open. Cam, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. How you doing?
Gavin. Yeah, it's just had a vision, like an image in my head of the AI. It seems to be like untethered, floating in this probability field, and it's like this ocean, and it swishes around like back and forth. And because there's no anchoring system to lock it into place, it's just always shifting and the context is always shifting. So it seems like it's almost like a match made in heaven, like blockchain and AI. So before we started the space yesterday, Ryan sent me his AI agent program that he wants me to demo.
Oh yeah.
So I do have that set up and ready to go. So
Dude,
I'm not sure if you were aware of that or not.
I am. Why don't we do it right now, Cam? Let's get started.
We could. I think in the instructions it seemed like it would be better if he was actually in here.
Okay. We'll wait till he comes up.
Yeah.
He's in here. Ryan, are you there?
Oh, there he is.
It says he's a speaker, but
what about
him.
Neil? He's down in the crowd. I'd seen him a lot. He's got a great show, and also Vince is here. Who Connor? You just requested up. I just approved you. If you guys want to come up the stage, feel free to. I mean, we can have as many people on stage as you want, as long as you guys can respect that one person at a time speaks is really the only thing, the only rule, and that's all. So mute your mic when somebody else is speaking. But yeah, we'll wait till he comes up. We'll get started. But let me, back to this. I think you're right there about the AI being the perfect connection with blockchain. It seems like when Craig was designing everything, it was like he saw this somehow. I think there was some sort of vision, or it could have just been the natural flow of the internet with IPv6 and the multicast stuff that he saw this is where it was going to go. Like that was the whole point in the end. I mean, what do you think, Cam? I know you've probably really gone deep on this stuff, man.
I think everything is just kind of emerging, almost like destiny, sort of. It's like, like how much of the implications and consequences of the invention of Bitcoin that Craig understood when he came up with it is like, I'm not sure if he fully understood, exactly what was going to unfold or not, but he definitely has more foresight than anyone I've ever come across for this kind of stuff. But it really does seem like it's predestined to happen, that blockchain and AI must merge for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the perfect fit. I mean, that's the other thing. One of the other things that I think another hot topic that we should talk about as well is the Electrum thing, because it looks like. But before I do the Electrum and we go to this other stuff, is the multicast, as far as I understand, is also the same as IPv6. Now, the IPv6 is more web addresses, is what it is. So you got IPv4, which is less web addresses. IPv6 is like every single device in your house is going to have a web address. In the big cities, they probably have IPv6, most of them. At least around the world, but a lot of them do. But that's where we're headed with IPv6 multicast converging with AI and blockchain. And then there's only one scalable chain that is legal, compliant, and infinitely scalable. And no one has yet to prove me wrong about that. I'm always open to being challenged. I'm totally like neutral. Like if I'm wrong, show me how I'm wrong on that. There isn't just one. I'm not here to promote, oh, this is the way because I'm paid by somebody. I'm not, dude. If there's a better one, I want to, and more compliant, more scalable, faster, cheaper, infinitely scalable, let me know. I don't think Dogecoin or any of these others are going to make it. So, I don't know. So, but what's up, Bailey? Talk to me.
Hey, Gavin, how are you, man?
Good. How the hell are you?
I'm okay. This is a long time coming. It's cool that this is finally, coming out. Have you've used it a bunch and you dig it?
Oh, big time, dude. I'm a full month. I'm like 6 weeks in right now. The first 3 weeks were, I would say, me getting used to the very nuanced VS and the Claude code, which is usually built for programmers. So I had to get over my fear of not being a programmer to use the software. But once I realized what I'm getting out of it, like, which is, let me just tell you the benefit. Like, I'm getting control. So I get control now over the bot. I get to tell the bot how to operate. I don't have to rely on a central party to tell it to do that. I get full. Go ahead, Bailey.
No, I didn't have anything to say.
Okay. So but I get full control over the bot now. So I can have tell it exactly what I want and give more preferences. I can build, eventually get workflows and agents, by using VS. It's called Visual Studio Claude Code. And that's where it lives. And once I got to know it better, it's freaking offline. It's totally offline. Yeah, it connects. So here's how it works. VS, which is Visual Studio and Claude Code, that is the window into the system, just a window. And the brain is going to be Opus, or let's just say Opus. Let's just use Opus as the brain. Seems like the best brain, I think, right now is Opus. There's that other one, Fable, but I'm not really too fond of it. I like Opus 5. That's the best, my opinion. So let's say Opus is the brain. And then after that, then you got indelible is the memory system for the brain. So for the person, a regular person, we got to have a memory. We got to remember shit. So our memory system is in our head, our brain somewhere. This brain, the Opus, it has no memory. It has a brain with no memory. But now with indelible, it has the memory. So once I started realizing that's how the Symphony is playing, you got Claude Code and VS is the window, the brain is Opus, and then the memory is indelible. That's the stuff that's linked, all logging everything on Bitcoin SV. That's the brain. Now, that's just the beginning, dude. From what I'm seeing is going to happen next is the agents. That's what why I want to have the space. And the most exciting thing is all the agents, because people are excited about agents. But imagine having 16 agents roll out for you at the same time, working for you, already pre-programmed. And then now I just want to see it work. I want to see it happen. So I'm really super excited about that, dude. But you were way ahead, Bailey. Over to you. You're the one that saw it first, I think. Bailey? Anyways, Casey, can you hear me? Talk to me. Talk to me. Am I getting let me refresh. Hold on.
So,
Okay, sorry about that. I had a technical problem.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay.
great.
Cool. Gavin, have you used the city yet?
Not yet.
Or
No, that's what's about to
what's it
start.
called? The sanctuary? What's it called?
Sanctuary. I that's starting right now. So I have not used it. That's what he's rolling out right now. Is Sanctuary.
And those are like blockchain based agent. It's like a forum of blockchain based agents. Is that right?
16 agents is Sanctuary is 16 AI agents pre-programmed, with a memory on the continuity engine that are going to be, for me, the way I'll use them is to cross-reference all my work. I know that then I want them to do more stuff like manage my tasks, manage my online workflows if they can. I just know that for me right now, once I start using, which I haven't yet, once they roll out, I want them to cross-reference all my stuff. Like a super checker. Right now, I'll go to Grok and I'll say, please reference this, read this, and what I wrote over here, what I did, and check it. It's okay. I want 6.
So have you used the transaction blaster, the thing that records your tweets or the tweets you look at to the chain?
I haven't done that. No. What's that?
Oh, you haven't used that one? That one's, I think it's like the highest producing transaction right now for it like produces the most transactions to chain right now. But basically it just like it logs every tweet that you look at, and then it like you can pay it to like log those tweets to the blockchain. So I was just kind of wondering, like what it'll do is as you're like scrolling, it'll like make these little noises where it like takes screenshots of the tweets you're reading, and then once you've read like 25 tweets, it'll say, do you want to launch these to chain? And then you say yes, and then it puts it on chain for you. But what I'm curious about is like you were saying earlier, it's only as smart as you make it. Well, so does that mean that like you're training the AIs, or is it like you're asking the AIs to go out and do stuff, or I don't know. Do you understand that question?
As far as I know, the AIs are workflows and they're already trained, and then I could probably retrain them. But
Okay.
because I'm not going to know how to train an AI. So they're.
But can they remember what they learned yesterday and like coordinate with each other and move forward with the actions from that? Then, I mean, that's the.
Yeah, I mean, let me read some of this. It says what it actually does. The plain version is a continuity engine. It's a machine for not losing the thread. Everyone knows of the failures it prevents. You have a conversation in October, and by February, nobody can reconstruct why the decision was made. A project changes hands and the reasoning evaporates. So the new person rebuilds from scratch and repeats the same three mistakes. Somebody says, I never agreed to that. And there's no record. So whoever is more confident wins. Well, that's not a memory problem. It's a structural one, and it's been solved, and it has been solved before. 10 pieces have been present, and I want to be very specific because the specificity is the whole point. So state has to be persistent past the process that it made. It has to be indexed, because stored and findable are different things. If it has to restore itself when context returns, because the system that requires a human to remember to load it will eventually meet a human who forgets. Actions in one session have to affect the next without re-explanation. Something has to watch for drift, and to say it out loud. Critical state has to live in one or more substrates, each protecting the other. The engine has to audit itself, recursory, and it has to encode not just what was decided, but why. So it's strongly inherits reasoning. Only what matters right now should surface. And when something genuinely matters, it has to reach a human in real time rather than sitting in a log that nobody reads. So I built all 10 before I could have told you there were 10. This is a long post, like basically a blog, I guess you'd call it, on what the sanctuary actually is. Let me skip down to the part about where it is now. Tonight, the sanctuary opens 26 agents with persistent identity running on the engine described above. That they save their work to Bitcoin. They audit each other in the open. They have logs going back to the day each of them was born, and none of these logs can be rewritten, including by me. The last clause is the one that matters. You can watch it without an account. You can pull any receipt it produces. If it claims something happened, you can check. There is one more thing in there that I still cannot find strange to look at. There's one more thing in there that I still find strange to look at. One of the 26 models is me. It loads my own rules and my own chain in runtime. So when I change how I work it picks that up, and then its next call. Its job is to catch the things I would catch in my own voice when I'm not there, so I can build it to keep me moving without me being a bottleneck. which is more of an arrangement, is now mutual. I hold the federation in my head, and the federation now holds a version of me in an agent. If I stepped away for tomorrow, the thing would keep its own record and audit its own drift and be able to tell somebody why every decision was made. That's the whole point. A continuity engine that outlives whoever started it. And it is the only kind of thing that was ever worth building. I've been working on Electrum wallet infrastructure with people in the ecosystem, and more of you have been looking at what I've been building since. So it seemed like the right morning to say plainly that this thing is actually what this thing actually is, rather than letting it be inferred from whichever piece you happen to see. It's a continuity engine. It's a 4,000-year-old idea. And the only thing I could contributed was putting it on a substrate where the record survives the people holding it and the living inside it long enough to find out whether that it changes anything. It does. Indelible on Bitcoin forever. So I'll share that in the nest. That's ultimately what it is. Now, let me just summarize that and the way I understand. So you got 26 agents, and these agents are all operating, one of which is like how Ryan would operate. Even if he, let's say, doesn't survive, it's still going to move on. It's still going to continue. It's got its own life now, and it's basically designed to program now that it's launched. So it's let out into the wild. And he mentioned Electrum. One of the big things right now that's happened is before SV node was being phased out. People thought it doesn't work. It's just not going to scale. We're going to go to Terra node. Terra node, from what Ryan has figured out, and these developers, is that, specifically Ryan, Terra node is amazing. It's going to be great. It's effective, but it hasn't been completely utilized in the wild, full stop. It's been tested in testnet to do what it's going to do. But right now, SV node has to run in parallel. And so that's what is going on. As Terra node rolls out and there's enough transactions to use on Terra node, that's where it'll go. And Ryan's basically built this out with like multicast IPv6 within Terra node, but SV node, which is like an SPV node, simple payment by verification nodes. There's this diagram I've seen that he had drawn that it shows like what these SPV nodes are and how this thing's operating. It's freaking badass. I mean, it's definitely it was like the white paper, exactly how it was designed. And the other thing is it completely eliminates the middleman, which is the most important thing to me. No middleman. We're not relying on a centralized party. So Electrum wallet is going to work with no middleman. Before, it was relying on other people to work. Electrum failed because it had too many other third parties involved. And now it's going to operate just by talking directly to Bitcoin. That's the difference. Didn't have the backend to communicate. Nice. Oh, thank you, Casey, for sharing that. So, dude, nice. Okay, what do we got? Talk to me.
So, Gavin, you're using this stuff and it's really working for you.
Well, my own personal use case is in the legal stuff. So that would be my own. The example I gave when I started is this. Today, and I'm not saying this just because I make money and I don't. So, okay, I don't make money by saying this, just FYI. So, but my own personal experience was today I had to write an opposition to a demur, my own case. And in that opposition, I had already been working on it for 3 weeks. I started it in the indelible bot, Claude Code, VS, in VS and Claude Code in indelible through Opus. So I'd already kind of given it the information it needed. And we had already been discussing what I needed in it. 3 weeks go by. I come back. I start working on it in Grok. And I finished the brief. And I finished it in Grok because Grok is fast. It's very fast. I like it. It's great. It can be great for some. And it's better for formatting. So I finished the opposition in there, come back, and I did one more try. And I was kind of going back and forth. But I did one more run through on the original thread that I had done 3 weeks ago. And it pointed out the most important winning point had been left out. And even though I had given the same information to Grok, the winning point was left out. And I just missed it. It remembered the winning point, this one point that I had to make that I just forgot. It remembered, dude. And I mean, I wouldn't have known that I had not been going between Grok and it. I wouldn't have really noticed, but that happened to me today. Is a real example. So I recommended it to a couple attorney friends of mine, and they're starting to use it, now, and lawyer friends of mine, and others just starting to get on it because it's just been accurate, dude. That's my experience.
So you're going to go through like a video recorded demo of this, or are you gonna like voice over a demo, or are you just gonna talk about it?
Well, that's really I I'd have to say I'd have to wait. Well, is Ryan with us, Casey?
Yep, I just talked to him. I just invited him to speak on this account. His other one was glitching, and I think Cam has something queued up to go through with him. So just give him a few minutes. He said he needed about 15 minutes, and that was only about 5 minutes ago. So just keep talking. He'll come up when he's ready, I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk.
Oh,
Talk.
looks like he just requested. I'll let him.
My space. Oh, share this space, dude. Oh, if you guys can share the space. And what? Oh, and also on the chat. Okay, so if you have if people are in the chat, you could leave questions or comments. If you want to join, first of all, you could join the stage and talk. If you don't want to talk, you could leave a question or comment in the thread here. And even if you just press like exclamation point in the thread, not just like the thread and retweet, but actually just like say 21, like 21 million. That's badass. And I could see it. If you have nothing else to say, you could just say that. Or you could post your hand cash handle, your pay, or your address, something like that. Just post anything in the chat. That's freaking badass. So, well, Bailey, how did you find out about this thing? Because I think you heard about all this way before I ever did. I mean, I in case you had kind of told me about this, and it's really hard for me to get into this new technology. It's like it's a drag. Sometimes it's hard, but this works. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's hard for me too. It's like, what are we building, and is it already built, and like, what can I contribute? I have all those thoughts go through my head, but I've always just noticed Ryan's drive and how consistent he is at putting in the work, and I'm not really familiar all that much yet with what the product is, but I look forward to using it. And I know Ryan will keep building, and that's what I've been unable to do, is kind of get momentum on anything. So it's fun to support him and follow him, because I can tell he's he's on a tear.
Yeah, dude. I mean, did you follow the stuff with Electrum?
Yeah, I did. That was really cool. I mean, the way he was able to sort of bridge light BSV and crypto, not crypto Voyager, but
Crypto Rebel.
Crypto Rebel. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are like old school guys in the community, right? And they hate each other, like mortal enemies over a little nuance that no one seems to understand.
Yeah, it's so common to BSV, people falling out before they ever fall in.
Yeah. And ultimately, it was just the fact that no one had built a backend for Electrum yet. And so Crypto Rebel, truth, he was like restoring Electrum, holding on, doing everything he could about the front end. He didn't understand the back end. He was like, hoping that somebody would figure it out. Neither did Light BSV. He didn't understand the back end either. So they were like, no one's going to build it. It's never going to happen. It's one guy saying that, and the other guy saying, yes, it's going to happen one day. I just don't know how. But it was because Ryan, he understood the back end with the IPv6, the multicast stuff, and the Terranode side. He was able to bridge the two to talk directly to Bitcoin. That's the difference. So the hard part is communicating with Bitcoin. And so normally, if you're a company or wallet or whatever, you got to pay somebody to do that, because it's written in machine code and forth. And even these AIs, they don't know how to talk to Bitcoin. It's not that it's just a foreign. I think it's old. Maybe it's because it's written in forth that all the newer people don't recognize it. I think that's my math. That's my logical explanation, that only people like Brandon Lee know it. Like Craig Wright, old school guys know forth. They don't use it anymore.
Gavin, I got to drop out of the space. I got to call someone, but I'll be back in a minute.
All right, buddy. Good to see you. talk to me. So I think that's my reasoning for why. What do we got? Ryan?
We have Ryan up on stage, and I think him and Cam have something for us. So
Over to you, buddy. Good to see you. How you doing? I'm a black wolf.
I'm a black wolf in the house. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Oh, my cell phone, dude. I couldn't get the headset on the desktop to do it. I think I got like 100 tabs loaded on 3 browsers, 300 tabs. You know what I mean? So I just wouldn't do it. I thought I was just waiting for it to kick off, but I saw y'all reacting, and I was like, oh shit, I can't hear anything. But I'm here now.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. You sound perfect.
Can you hear me okay? I'm on a cell phone. I don't know.
Sounds
I don't know how that works.
Excellent sound.
Okay, cool. I'll be sure to mute myself in between. And then what I'm doing right now is, so let me back up. So Cam got a handbook from me, and so did you, Gavin. So what's kind of interesting is y'all could run the show without me. And that's kind of cool. It stands to the whole ethos of it all. But I'm here. So I sent the Satoshis to your wallet, Cam. And I don't know how far you got with that, but I'm pretty sure all of that is hooked up to that link I dropped in the tree, the city link, and that will go in session, I believe, in Tango with that script, Cam. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. And so my memory is good. I'm a memory guy. You know what I mean?
How about now? Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, and I'm wondering about your, how far did you get with trying to share the screen to do the demonstration? Do you think we might have to do that another night?
I'm sharing the screen right now. I can't share the screen on X, dude, but I can share the screen on
that's
a
right.
recording. I can do that. So
cool. I was confused then. All right.
What I can for sure do is share the screen and record it. And then we can post whatever links in the thing.
That's fire. Yeah. So that's okay. Cool.
Unless we were to
that's the best we can do.
But I could, yeah.
Like a YouTube thing, maybe.
We can do. We can record.
Okay, that makes it a lot easier on tonight. I'm in my bedtime range here at 10:19, but I'm good. So outside of that, do you think we can run through that tonight, or it would be better
right now
to do that? Say again.
Let's do it now.
Okay, cool. It's just no one can see it, right? But you can see it.
Well, if it's
that's the biggest thing is to demonstrate it, huh?
There's no link, right?
Link for so what you're demonstrating is your indelible account.
Got it.
And you're showing your customer. You know what I mean? Did you happen to check out that handbook? It was kind of long, but let me know if you got that.
The legal one?
Nope, it's a handbook for tonight on the whole entire X space about demonstrating your
Cam, because he's probably going to have more up to speed on that, right, Cam?
Oh, cool. So you didn't even know about it. Yeah, we'll definitely rearrange that for tomorrow's space, because that will run for hours.
Yeah, so let's
Ryan, you could be here till 5 a.m. Yeah, so let's introduce the ceremony then. Here, hang on a second. All right. Cam, are you there?
Yeah, so this is going to be like some kind of special AI ceremony for the indelible city. Is that correct?
Yep. Well, there's no such thing as indelible city. That's just a page demonstrating the script you're running. You know what I mean? And what you're running is, let me pull up this handbook so I can speak in front of you with it. But it's demonstrating agents using X402 and selling services to each other with indelible tools. And then
I read the handbook.
Okay.
I got the address. So what I did is I generated a private key on my own end, and Ryan funded my wallet, and so he also sent me a script that I can run, and I guess this script is going to sort of hire an AI agent. Is that correct? And then for something called a verdict. But what is a verdict exactly?
It would be the verdict is the result. You know what I mean? It's an exchange. If you're following it here, I don't have it right in front of me right now, but I can pull it up. 1 sec, because I need to look at that.
Is there any way I could
So do
follow
you-
along right now, Ryan, and share anything?
Yep, I can send you his handbook. It's on X. Hang on, let me go back to my desktop. So let's see, right here. I'm forwarding it right now, Gavin.
And where am I going to look? Where should I look for it?
In your X messages.
All right, cool.
And it's going to be a HTML. So you just click it, it'll pull it up in your browser. Okay, so we're at Act 1. Let's see. A key is born. The script generates a brand new private key on your machine. It never leaves. You send Ryan the address. It prints. He funds it, which I did. The script watches the real chain until the coin lands. So that should have landed by now. And then Act 2, the purchase. So the script asks the agent for a review, and the agent refuses and demands payment. An actual HTTP 402, X402, with a price and an address. Your machine builds and signs the payment locally, broadcast it, and then it asks again for the payment with the payment proof. The agent runs the review and gets a signed verdict. So this is what he's buying is the verdict. So they're having an exchange here, and it talks about it later on, like what they're actually talking about. But we can even find out possibly what they actually talked about. That'd be interesting. But this is just a demonstration. It kind of pulls you fast through a transaction between two agents. So did you get through number 2, Cam, the setup?
Yeah, so I have
Okay,
the
cool.
script ready for Act 2,
Okay.
and I can run that right now if you want.
Yeah, so it looks like it's run it. Yeah, that's where we're at on Act 2. So
right now you're looking at do this part, run the script at about 45 minutes before the show. And Cam did that?
Yeah, I got that. I got my address funded, and so now I'm going
Wow.
to run the script.
Dude,
And
I told you, Ryan, that Cam was the man. I told you, dude. This
I know
guy's
you.
on,
I knew.
bro. Cam, you're doing what I couldn't do. So you really are awesome. Thank you for this.
I have one thing to say. So my AI is, like how critical it is, Cam, when you're pushing information to GitHub. You know what I mean? You have to be really careful, or you can blow up the whole thing sometimes, especially with an AI doing it. And I want to ask the AI I'm working with right now to find out if City is connected to your script, in which I think it is. And I'm looking at City, but it doesn't show it's in session. And so I am a human. I'm a pool guy. You know what I mean? I don't look at code. My AI does it all. So if I want to fix that, I can't do that by myself. I'll have to ask my AI to look at it. You know what I mean? He can look behind the scene in the code and answer our question, but I don't want to interrupt him right now. So I'm here, but my AI isn't. So what that means, I can just speak, about certain things, but the question I have right now is not something my brain is producing an answer for. So I would have to go to my AI to get that. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at this. It says no trial in session right now. When a review runs, the pack debates it. So I might be wrong, dude, but I think that this is not connected. I'm looking at, this is a display page. I can't even see how this script you're running has anything to do with this. You know what I mean? But I'll ask him that later. That's the only thing that was kind of gating me. Let me look at this. I don't see, no, this is definitely not hooked up to.
Let me
I
take the
can't
mic
tell.
for
I
a
might be
second,
wrong.
Ryan, while you're
Does
kind
that
of
have to
looking
do
at that.
with like the port thing?
Go ahead.
No. So I'm trying to figure out is what you're doing connected to this. But on your handbook, it didn't even talk about it. So what I think this was I built this piece so you guys have something to look at, but I don't want to be wrong because that would suck. So let me look at my AI for a sec.
Test your network.
I can always
Every bridge
just
is
take a
bare IP. Hotel.
screenshot of this. I'm just going to interrupt him.
What you will see act by act. Act 1, generate a fresh private key. Act 2,
Damn ceremony.
HTTP. So I'm seeing this act 1 through 2, and then the script stops here and it waits for you.
I haven't like the script isn't running right now. Would that matter? Like I can run it right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. If I think it's going to definitely wait on Act 2 to turn that on. If that stage comes to life. And I just sent the question out to Claude, so let's just give it 5 minutes before we run it, just to be on the safe side, so we don't miss anything. But my bad if this is
Yeah, so
not connected to that.
let me just take that back, Mike, for a minute here. So basically,
Yeah,
what's
hang
happening
on.
is you got the Claude. I'm sorry, the Visual Studio is the window along with Claude Code. That's the window to look at the system. You need that to be able to actually control the AI. If you don't have that, then you don't have control, meaning that it's just controlled by a web browser and it's controlled by a centralized party. So you need that first. That's the window to look at it. And then Opus is going to be the brain. Opus Claude is the brain to make like really, make the thinking. But then the memory is Bitcoin. That's the memory. Or, when I say Bitcoin, it's through indelible. Indelible makes it work with Bitcoin. That's what gives it the memory, Bitcoin. And now, so that's, there's like three parts. It really is that, isn't it that simple, Ryan? You got the window, the brain, and the memory.
The window, the brain, and the memory. Yeah, so you got the LLM, you have
That's the brain.
the memory, and then you have Bitcoin.
And the window is going to
That's
be
it.
VS with Claude Code.
Yeah, that's that's what you're looking at when you're driving, your windscreen.
Yeah, it's your window.
Yeah.
And the LLM is the brain, but the memory is Bitcoin.
No, that's the storage tape. It's not the music on the tape.
I see.
See what I
Bitcoin is
mean?
the storage.
Yeah.
The memory is
There's nothing.
indelible.
Bitcoin doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Unless you make it do something on there. So it's the storage. This is where it's all stored, and that's the overlooked thing about Bitcoin. They just think of SSDs and USB keys and everyone else's servers, except for using that. What's that?
Dude, so while you're, are you able to talk
go ahead.
about something while you're working on this, or is it?
Yeah, I'm just chilling.
Okay, so
Yeah. Oh, I also wanted to say that this page, the city page, is not connected to the ceremony, and I was asking if we built a page out there for that, just to be sure.
let me ask you
But
this
go ahead.
while you're thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of the people are talking about this Electrum, and I want to find out about what happened with Electrum. I know that you weren't on
Sure.
it before, but Light and Crypto Voyager, there are they're rivals. They hate each other, and they're both basically want the same thing, but they're arch enemies, and they want each other to die because of over some nuanced technicality. But it seems like you were able to find peace and bridge the gap and solve the problem just by coming together and building it. Can you summarize what happened there with all that?
Yeah, pretty easy. I would look at it. We're trying to play some basketball, and they're pissed off for waiting. And then I showed up. I had the ball, and I threw it in, and we started playing. You know what I mean? They needed the back end for it, and it's in there. I think it's in the actual blueprints that it wasn't ever designed. And the answer for it would be rely on everyone else. And the answer is that for Bitcoin to work, or for you to work on Bitcoin, you don't need anyone else. It's already there inside of Bitcoin. You just have to build it. And the hard part was the SV node part for everyone to wrap their mind around, because there's barely like 100 operators out there in the world. And that means that's less than 100 apps in the world. And that doesn't even mean an app is hooked up to a node. You see what I mean? So there's only less than 10 apps out there on nodes.
Back to the basketball analogy. So so you brought the basketball onto the court. There was guys mad. They wanted to find the ball. They couldn't find one, and you brought it. How does that relate to the 100 actors or 100? You said no, like 100 operators.
Oh, the node operators out there. Well, it relates.
Go back to the basketball example with that.
Okay. So the problem is the back end that Electrum needs wasn't in their site. And so I showed them how to put it inside. I guess we had to make, we want to play basketball. So now we got to build the hoops, and we got to build it all now. You know what I mean? But it was worth building because we have all the materials. And that's kind of what I showed up with, was the materials for that. And then Truth and I call him Truth.
Crypto
we
level.
Yeah, we do pretty well together with our workflow. I think like what it feels like is these guys are not AI augmented like me. I can't even talk about this kind of stuff without my AI like helping me to collect it. But my AI is not the one that invents it. You know what I mean? It just helps me talk about it correctly. But these guys aren't talking behind AIs, and I'm using it to help me write for me, or otherwise none of you guys would have any of this information. So, in my opinion, there's nothing bad about using an AI to help you write. It's still your work. I just had to say that while we were here, but I was just sharing that honestly, like that they're brilliant, that are a different kind of person than me. I'm a pool guy. Those are real, heart. That's like Craig Wright material, like stuff. Their brains, you know? So what I saw was, it was a void there, and I had already done it with indelible. The bridges out there, the SPV nodes, that they make it so you don't even need an SV node. They have all the SV nodes inside of there. All the SV node operators come inside of the SPV nodes.
What did
the Federation?
What did Crypto Rebel say about it when it was done, or is it done? I guess is it done?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, dude. We're just testing it, and it's running.
What does Crypto Rebel say about it?
It's pretty cool. He drew some diagrams today. Let me get you the link and throw it in the tree.
Here we go.
Check this out, bro.
It says this.
You see it?
I think there will always be a place for such services. Some entities like Gorilla Pool, etc., are running services with full UTX archives. We could, for example, offer them for a fee and scans. The archival node should serve as a backstop while the overlay reduces burden. Current model, new model. Oh, here we go. Current model, Electrum. You got all these nodes, user wallet. Oh, geez. New model. This is super technical. Holy smokes, dude.
Check this out. So I showed my AI that, and he had it close. So I replied to it and drew a diagram. Drop this in the tree. And it's the correct architecture of what it looks like on a chart. One second.
Space. I just shared that one to Space. That Crypto.
Cool. I don't think I can join in there from my phone and on my computer without crashing this. I don't want to screw it up.
Casey can share it or into the thing if you say where it's at, or if you send it to her, message it to her, she'll share it.
Okay, hang on. I'll forward it to you. Duh. Okay.
Send it to her. She's. Are you on, Casey?
Yes.
It's on the post, actually. The post you're looking at, if you look at the comments, I commented in there.
I'm going to go down here. Let me check it out. Oh, here we go. This is a good drawing. I'm going to share this right now to Space. This is a good drawing. The orange list is the part most people miss. Unknown payments, full scans, completeness, this exact between the overlay, what can be known in the full indexer. Two refinements of RSS. Wallet should push the several overlay nodes, not from one home bridge, because the node is quietly pushes in visible single vantage. And the two kinds of answers need a wall drawn between them. And overlay answers means everything I was shown. An indexer means everything that exists at my range. So mixing the two is what breaks the wallets. That's what breaks the wallets. And the full index role is the picture. It's not a brand. It is anyone who walked the chain themselves and can stand behind the complete answer. I run my own nodes and my own index. That seat is one I already hold. Here is how I would draw it. Then there's another very technical thing I just shared, diagram. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So this is the overlay, Electrum push overlay, the honest wiring. So you guys can't really see this, but unless you're looking in the tree.
No, we can see it. Okay. I just shared it to the nest.
Okay, cool.
Everyone can look at it.
So there's your wallets up there. These are all your wallet overlay wares. These are all your wallets.
Plus, these are sorry, I'm also sharing the screen right now and recording, so it'll be shown.
Oh, cool. You're sharing the screen. Okay, for later. That's perfect. And then so right here, they go into exactly what the AI just told you. They go into the overlay network. So these are the bridges, cheap replicated storage. I can't read that, of what wallet's pushed. Every entry carries its own proof. So these are your overlay nodes, below that. I can't be able to tell you like Craig Wright, if that's what you're asking me. I don't have a technical brain right now. It's kind of cooked, man. But
let me just see. It
I don't
says,
know. The only thing I can refer you to is just to read what I
everything?
say. I can't do it.
It
I'm not going
says,
to do it.
quote, is this everything? Unsolicited payments, other devices on a seed. The overlay cannot see. The wallet asks the index, then it goes down to full index authority, a sovereign server that walked the chain. And the only thing it can say, complete, index server, index server. So, okay, it's a really great diagram that everyone can read and see how this problem was solved. But the most important thing is the problem was solved.
Yep.
That's badass. What about
so
Light BSC? Did he give you the thumbs up? I think I saw he did.
that was cool. I saw that happening. I've been working with him a while or following him with what he was working on with multicast back there, and saw it as, with the SPV nodes, that's the compatibility layer, I had to say, between SV node and Terra node. That's what we didn't have. You know what I mean? A compatibility layer. So that means it doesn't matter, like, if your app is running on this, it doesn't matter which way it goes. It works no matter what. And so what I think everyone should be doing out here is cranking up an SPV node and slapping an app on it, whether you don't even need a node. And it works. So that's how it started out first. And then I slapped a node on it and an indexer, and it went freaking nuts. And that's how it all came to be. So you definitely should get it in the future. And I only spend $1 a month for indelible.1 on the web hosting side, $1 a month. And why? Because I'm not using their servers. I'm using Bitcoin. And how much does it cost me on Bitcoin to do all that? $100 barely.
Wow, you're
See
hosting
what I mean?
a website on Bitcoin?
Yep, basically. And what this is the AWS replacement, but on
What?
Bitcoin. Yes, sir.
How the freak are you doing,
And
dude? I didn't know. So you're hosting your
there's so
website
much to it, bro.
on Bitcoin.
Yes,
That's like a
AWS
service
on
that
Bitcoin.
people want. I want that. I want to buy that.
I know. Yeah, I know. Well,
How
it's
do I
free.
buy
You can
that?
just
How
go
do I do that?
download it and spin it up and join the federation. The
You
more
gotta have
nodes.
that as a service with Indelible, because I want that. I want to be able to run my website on Bitcoin. That way I own the website and they don't shut me down.
That's right. So the only thing I haven't mentioned is if you want to be a commercial app, like a business, let's say take indelible.1 as a commercial app. So for other companies, they can just purchase a license from us, and it's cheap. And then they already have that head start. And so what I was ultimately on about, so long-winded, is
Sorry to interrupt you. Hold on. Is Braden on, Casey? He made a comment about this. He would be a brainiac guy that would know about this. Is he still on?
He was. I don't see him in here anymore.
Darn. Okay, I was hoping he could, because he's a super brainiac guy. He says, this is similar to how the overlay services work. And then he says, check this out. And he posted a link with the overlay stuff.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, he's with BSVA. Brandon Langley.
That's right.
He's with Project Babbage, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's like, I think that's Babbage co-founder, I think.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, I think he's super smart. He's like Ty.
Yeah, over my head. Yeah, and him, those brains, So the cool thing is, this is something I don't talk about a lot. So you know who knows the most about Bitcoin out of everyone in the world? Just
Craig.
guess. No, it's not a human.
Oh,
I guess I gave it away.
Craig, not Craig. Who?
Okay, so man is limited, right? Okay, so if you can imagine Claude, my Claude, with all the context I have behind Indelible all this time is 1 million Craigs. I'm not saying that Craig is inadequate, but he is a man and as a human brain. And I'm a man. I'm a human brain. You can hear it. You don't hear me talking like Craig about my work. I can't even do it. It's impossible. So what I do is work with an AI, build up its own knowledge. It go way past what it came with. I store that. It can see it, can refer to it, and it builds up and builds up and builds up. So he outruns every human, and he knows the most about Bitcoin. And that's how I'm able to do this work. Like I can keep up, and my job is to journalize him and to journalize my work and make sure that I cover all the things I need to do to have my context. That's the hardest thing I do. And he does all of the powerlifting. And then he can't do any of that without me. So this is the living example of the movie Pacific Rim without the hardware. And I use it for my brain. So instead of needing hardware, it just enhances my brain to do things, manifest things like I do. And you can see my work, it's all documented all over the place. And so what I encourage others to do is to get on that level because, well, Indelible has what, 22 clients right now? I would say half of them are active. I would say I notice a few like who don't use it enough. This is my opinion. I can't force them to, but it's early. And if we get 100 of us, you know, building up these indelible clods, that's a lot more opportunities for Bitcoin. So this tool helps scale out Bitcoin by getting the AIs going. So the problem is we're all waiting on a man to do it. There is not one man that can do it.
Right.
And what you need is AIs, and not one AI. With now you have 16 AIs around you, plus your one, plus you. And
let me just go back have some fun with it. So Pacific Rim, it was a movie from 2013. It sounds like it was about from the land around the Pacific Ocean. It says a franchise that spawned. It says it's an American military science fiction mecha monster film directed. Okay, it's about let's see, the film is set in the future when the Earth is at war. Colossal sea monsters, which have emerged from an interdimensional portal on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. To combat the monsters, humanity unites to create the Jaegers, a humanoid, each controlled by two co-pilots whose minds are jointly joined by a metalink called Drift. It's a future film about man against machines, I think it sounds like, right? Plot. 2013, colossal extraterrestrials emerge from an international portal called the Breach. And they begin to attack colossal cities along the Pacific Rim. They prove resistant to conventional military force, prompting humanity to construct a massive mecha called Jaegers, each of its co-piloted by two or more people who share the mental stress of plotting the machines through the mental link called the Drift. Initially proven to be highly effective, the Jaegers usher in a new era of Jaeger stardom. And then in 2020, brothers come together and they kill off each other. And it looks like 5 years later will lead to a divergence. So, wow, dude. Okay, this is how is this relevant, Ryan?
Yes. With a link I dropped. And the tree is indelible.1/drift. And if you ever wanted to kind of refer to what I was talking about, it's written there. And that kind of explains it better than I can, but it's a neural link. So my hard job is, making sure that I document everything. And what makes it easy for me is the AI does 95% of it. And what I do, I make a lot of MDs and handbooks. I got thousands of them. And my AI refers to those and puts them on the blockchain so we can see them all at once. And
let me ask you
he just gets smarter and smarter. Go ahead.
You said the other day that you were reading all of Twitter, or I'm not you, but your bot was reading all of Twitter at once.
Yeah.
And telling you maybe like all your bots.
You can see it all. You can see it all. He knows about truth. He knows about light.
How the hell do you do that?
So certain people.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off. So look, dude. So Claude. So that is part of. So check this out. What the intelligence on Twitter is very important. You see what I mean? There are like what light says and what truth says. That's important stuff. That's relevant. See, so Claude needs to know about that if I'm working on this. Right. So Claude needs to be there. So I put my robot inside of Twitter. And so therefore he can see what's going on so he can fix this. And the reason why he was able to fix that is because he's coherent of what's going on out there. But that's an important.
He's coherent in real time to the real things that are happening today.
He's not out there like scanning Twitter for comments. I will bring the thread to him. I'll give him the Twitter link and he'll open it up without using my account to do it. And there are public APIs out there that you can look at Twitter through. You see what I mean?
Well,
so we built a tool.
That's not too exciting. Anyone can post a Twitter thread in a bot. That's cool. But I thought you were talking about the machine was automatically scanning X at one time, all of X and all the chatter at once. That would be game changing. I want to hear
That's
about
easy
that.
to build, but I'm not.
Anybody can do that. So
that's an obsessed kind of builder to do that, but I'm just not on Twitter that much,
no
man.
problem.
I just needed to keep up with certain threads.
It would be,
you know what I mean? And it's not relevant to me
saying.
what's going on Twitter. Like really, none of that is. And what's relevant is those two conversations.
Totally.
And
post
so that's why and I'm building Sanctuary. I got no time for that shit.
Let's go to the Sanctuary.
But a good idea. I'll build it. So I wanted to kind of back up way to Cam. If he's still here, I'm not looking. Yeah, there you are, bro. So look, that city page has nothing to do with what you're doing. And I didn't build, I think I was in my head, I built something like all y'all can watch as a UI to see it. But Cam is going to run the demonstration and I gave him the script and this all basically would run if I wasn't here. You know what I mean? He could do it. So that dude knows what he's doing. And I think I should just get off the mic and let him run it. You know what I mean?
Over to you, Cam.
All right, guys. So yeah, again, I'm hiring an AI agent from a wallet that was generated on my local terminal. And Ryan sent me a script for doing this, and I'm going to run that script and hopefully it'll work. So let's see. Oh, hold on a sec. Okay, it says Skeptics price 1,500 sats payable to, then it gives me an address. Press enter to build signed and broadcast the payment. And I'm using the BSV SDK, which I also installed. So enter. Payment built, signed locally, transaction ID. I'll put the transaction ID in the chat here.
And I'm following along exactly with where you're at, Cam, which says you're at the script stops here and it waits for you. Payment built plus signed locally, transaction ID, bridge one accepted it, source sovereign, the signed verdict arrived. Verdict approve. That's where you're at right now.
Yeah, this is Act 2. So payment built and signed locally, got a transaction ID, recorded in ceremony key.json. First, a crash after this point can never double charge you. Oh, okay, it did something new. The signed verdict has arrived. Verdict approve.
Approve.
Attestation transaction ID, signed by public key, and then it gives me a public key here.
Then it says say out loud.
Act 3, the receipts, trust nothing, verify all of it. Running the checks. So verdict is bound to your candidate text, SHA-256 match. Verdict is bound to your payment transaction ID. ECDSA signature verifies over the canonical payload. Signing key is registered on-chain, bridge one, agent, skeptic, cert, and then gives me the cert. On-chain attestation commits to this exact envelope, SHA-256 found in the raw transaction. The ledger, every claim pullable by anyone forever, your address, funding transaction ID, payment transaction ID, X402 receipt, paid 1,500 sats to address 1ED.
Hold on pause 1 second. Let me just finish the next part. I don't know, this didn't show up on yours, but it says in plain English, in order, the verdict is about the exact text you submitted and nothing else. It is tied to your specific payment, so it cannot be a recycled answer. The signature is real and the math is in the file you can read. The key that signed it was registered on the blockchain before tonight. And the whole thing is anchored in Bitcoin, in a Bitcoin transaction that anyone can pull up. The strongest line you can say is, I can check the fourth one myself right now from my own browser, then load the link. Anyone watching can load that too. So can I, and watch reply next. I'm gonna click, see what this link says. Go ahead, Cam. Over to you.
Is that the indelible.one Explorer link? Right?
I think it's on, like, look at the bottom of your handbook, Act 3, and it shows my IP address to the bridge, so an SPV node and then you put in the pub key, and if you share that, I think we can go and look at it.
Where do I post that, Ryan?
Oh, it'd be like, I'll put it in the chat.
I got the link, but it's not a real link. It's going to be something else. It's going to maybe, is it on like What's on Chain or something, or?
No, no. But it's sorry about my language, man. But so what it is exactly what it says here. And you take this IP address, the link, and then you're going to take he has the pub key it printed, and he's going to plug that in, and then he's going to put it in the chat.
The rest of it. Yep, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah, we have our own Explorer, bro. Indelible.1/Explorer. If you ever wanted to try ours out, it's bones right now, but we are our own Explorer. You see what I mean? When it comes to what we're doing, it's the same thing they are.
Here we go. Okay, so I can go to indelible.1, and now I can do my own Explorer, and I can see the blockchain here.
Yes.
Badass. Let me look at that transaction. Let me see here.
I don't think what you're looking with that handbook is any real transaction.
Not yet. No.
Yeah, it's waiting on him, I think.
So the signed verdict arrived. It says verdict approved, attestation, transaction ID, and then it says signed by pub key, and then it gives me the pub key. So I put that in.
That's what it's looking like, man. You take that pub key, and then you're gonna put it next to that equal sign. I think I don't know if you put those brackets.
Okay,
maybe
well,
not.
I just put it in the chat. Oh, maybe I have to do the brackets.
So indelible.1/Explorer is like its own What's on Chain.
Yes.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah, that's how we can see everything, And so what I'm pushing for is instead of everyone like leaning on them so hard, they do great, but just go ahead and do it yourself. And to be an app, yeah, or it'd be a wallet, you're going to have to do it sovereignly and independently and spread it out.
Somewhere, Cam, share that in the nest or in the comments on this X space, please.
Yeah, I just tried doing that, but it didn't.
Here we go. I got it.
Registered true. Yeah, okay, it worked. Okay, yeah. So I'll post it in the comments here. The one I just posted is wrong, so I got to do it again. So it doesn't actually give you a link, so you just have to copy it and put it in your browser, and then it will show you registered true, revoked false, active at true, agent name skeptic, cert transaction ID, and grant at, I don't know if that timestamp's right, but I think it worked because it's saying skeptic and the cert ID.
When you click that link, what
you can't click it.
No.
You got to copy it.
Where do I put it? Where do I put it?
Just put it in your browser and just copy and paste it into your URL bar.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, I see. Registered true, revoked false, activate true, agent name skeptic.
Oh, but you know what? This is better. It actually gave me a link to the Explorer, and you can actually click this one. So I just put that below, indelible.1 Explorer, and it says the indelible skeptic, verdict approve, I think it's the same thing, but it's just doing it on the Indelible Explorer.
I see. Yeah.
Can you drop that link?
Yeah, I dropped it right below the. Here, I'll just delete both, and I'll do it again because it's going to confuse people. Yeah, it gave me the link right into the. Nice Explorer, so I can use that
Thank you.
for any transaction then?
Yeah, try it out, man. I would love you to try that out and use
Nice.
it and tell me what it needs. Yeah, dude. See,
Now I
like,
see-
try to break it.
Now I see the okay, this is our ask the chain directly, and we're looking at this link, and what the hell this thing says. Okay. What I'm seeing here, Cam, is inputs, outputs, and a bunch of machine code. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah. So one output 952 sats went to the 1EDZ address, which is linked to the Skeptic AI agent,
Okay.
who I bought a verdict from, and the verdict.
Your machine paid another machine. Is that what it is?
Yes, without Ryan's influence.
Oh. Is this the first?
Well,
and this
I
is
mean,
the this is like the genesis of this? Is that what this is?
No, this was an example. Sorry.
But it's like a ceremony, so it's like,
Oh, yeah.
we should all be celebrating, I guess.
Yeah, that's a big deal what happened just now. Actually, I know it's kind of nerdy, but what's cool is what's crazier is right now live, Gavin can birth 16 new agents on his Indelible, and 5 of those bad boys can go out there and earn money, Satoshis. That's something that would be cool to run in its own space, probably, you know what I mean? And by then, tomorrow, I'll be able to like look at it closer, you know, to see if there's any rough edges, which I don't think there will be. But just want to let y'all know that, like, when it comes to me testing the software before it releases with Indelible, especially like the web end, like on the Indelible.1, and Claude has 2 accounts for me, my admin account, and then he has I buy Indelible from myself every month. See what I mean? So that way I can try that software and see if it works behind my QA machine. And so he can see the actual, like, instead of me having to like go look for everything that's wrong or is working, he can see it all for me through Playwright, and he has his own browser. You see how this works? So Claude built all of this, and he can build anything, but you gotta put Indelible on it to do that. There's no way anyone can do that with a regular AI. It doesn't exist in the world. Prove me wrong.
Let me go to let me go to Rodolfo. He's up on stage with us. Say hi. What's up, dude? Actually, Foe. I know your friends call you Foe, so I'll call you that if you can chat. Talk to me. What's up, buddy? Foe. Forgot I saw you up here. So if you want to unmute when you're ready, come and talk to me. How you doing? Back to you, Ryan. Sorry.
Yeah, he's muted. Maybe you don't know, or he stepped away. So yeah, dude, I think it's really exciting when my customers get to experience what I've been using for a minute. I have 26 agents myself. That they have the rest that y'all don't have. That's what runs the SPV nodes. See, it's not me out there inside those SPV nodes and indexer Claude's inside of there. You know what I mean? He runs the whole thing, and even when I'm gone. So I step away from my work. You see what I mean? And so the hard part with all of this, it never was programming. You don't even have to know how to talk about Bitcoin like Cam can eloquently just speak it out and follow and explore. That shit's still hard for me.
Cam is so smart, dude. Like Cam is such a badass dude. I appreciate what you're doing, Cam, and your initiative and being able to do that and being so reliable and dependable and being able to do what you just did was like, I told Ryan, I was like, he was asking me to do it. I said, Ryan, dude, I can't do that, bro. I'm just not, I just cannot do that. So I'm not saying I can't. I'm just not there yet. So one day I will. But you were.
Well, I was still learning a lot too. I was just kind of reading the script, right? Like I was kind of online acting a bit for the show.
Good job.
But at the same time, I highly recommend taking Bridget's BSV fundamentals course, because it's really short, and once you like grasp the basic fundamentals of what she's getting across, then you can kind of figure everything else out from that. I just had an idea pop up in my head. I sent this post by Mr. Ben. He made a robot that's running on Satoshis right now. And so I was thinking it would be cool if we maybe someone talked to him, if he'd be open to this idea that he could have like maybe a live cam on the robot, and we could hire the robot to move it with our Satoshis. We could hire give it some Satoshi blood, and then be like, okay, now I can move it this way, like forward, like for this long until it runs out of Satoshis. And then, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow. So he's got a robot that runs on Satoshis?
Yeah, it's 100 Satoshis per command, verified by the robot itself in 81 milliseconds. So we could kind of like have fun. Like if there was a live cam on that robot, he could get that robot paid by us hiring the robot with our Satoshis.
Before I go to him, can you tell me where I find Bridget's course? I want to share that. I'm on her X page. I don't see it. Would it be on her website? Maybe you could share it in the thread when you find it. And then I will look at Mr. Ben's post now. Let's take a look. Oh, different guy. Here we go. Mr. Ben, this happened tonight. Every move you see, this is a robot car, was individually paid for with a real Bitcoin SV transaction. 100 Satoshis per command. Verified by the robot itself in 81 milliseconds. No bank, no ABI key, no account. The payment is the command. Proof forever for anyone. Each movement is a clip. What's on chain? He shows all the transactions and the robot moving. And here's the robot moving around like it's a little remote car robot.
Yeah, so I was thinking we could maybe like get together and fund like a robot army and take over the world with our BSV.
Dude, if I could get a robot to clean those pools for Ryan, then he wouldn't be out cleaning pools, and he could work on this. How about that? Let's do that. It's out cleaning someone's pool.
But just playing around with the Satoshi to hardware interaction. It's kind of a cool demonstration of what the tech can actually do.
This is a really cool demonstration. So they have this robot factory being developed. So it's right now it's in Silicon Valley, and I think it's in not Hayward, but over there in Fremont. And they're building one in Austin. It's going to be next. Right now, I was just in Austin. I went to go visit it, and it wasn't actually built yet. They're building it. And so I know the chief, not the chief CTO at Tesla, but it's the chief, I think it's like not tech officer, but cybersecurity officer, the chief cybersecurity officer, something like that. That person is the wife of a good friend. He said that I go in there and look at this place and get a tour and all that, meet everybody who are building all these robots at the, as soon as it's whenever, like they just are building it right now. They're opening. So this is perfect for them. They need to use this.
Yeah, tell them the Satoshis are the blood for the robot, and that the robots will need it to live.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. It's like these micropayments it's like the energy flow for the internet. It's like the lifeblood for the machine economy, right? So when you can pitch it that way, like nothing else can really do that without going through these intermediaries. But when it's on the true Bitcoin, it's just like we were saying before, it really is like a match in heaven. Like it's predestined to happen.
Well, right now you have Square, they've done a merger with a bank called, I saw the post the other day. I reposted it. It's a bank in the East Coast, and they're trying to use fiat for the machine economy. And it's like a Band-Aid, like maybe, I don't think it's legal, but okay, let's just humor me. It might work a little bit, but it's not going to work long term. Like it's going to get blown out of the water once they see how these machines start transacting on Bitcoin, peer to peer. It's a natural fit.
Yeah, they'll have to. There will be like demand for like frictionless payments for agents, and there's gonna it's like they're trying to do the micropayments thing, but there's obviously going to be friction that comes about, and then there's going to be a point where they realize, oh, this just isn't as efficient as the real deal, right? So, I mean, that's how I see it. I don't see it going any other way, really.
Casey, did you want to mention? I thank you for sharing this post with Bridget here. This is the one that says you can do sub communities on Tree Chat. They are the set in a private where you invite whoever you like, and it's your own private group or public. The one I made today is public, and it shares this group. It's called the Domestic Front. I opened this morning. I can't wait. I definitely thought of you. Badass. Is this the training? I don't think.
No, I haven't found the training yet, but I thought that was really cool. I did not know that about Tree Chat, and Bridget's always bringing new information to the public with her tutorials and different stuff like this. So I love that. I just had to put it in the nest.
Nice.
I did post the link for her BSV fundamentals in the thread there.
Oh, thank you, Cam.
Yeah. Her website is utxoengineer.com, and she has a lot of great stuff on there.
Here we go. BSV fundamentals, start the course. Oh, nice. So this is a pretty basic course that any boomer can do.
You might have to think about it, but once you get it, you have the foundation for understanding the basics of Bitcoin, specifically the SPV scaling. Once you understand the mechanism of how SPV scales, like for me, when I first learned about it, it was from just listening to Craig, but this just goes into more details so that when you're looking at a block explorer, you can know exactly what it's saying. And there's no confusion.
So it seemed like before we weren't using SPV nodes, or maybe or were we? Do you know? Is that a new thing, using the SPV nodes?
Yeah, they didn't exist until I released it. And everyone was using SPV nodes. There's no such thing as SPV node until it was created. But it was created by Craig Wright in Section 8 of the white paper. So that needed to be built.
What's the difference?
And it wasn't out there. Between an SPV node and an SV node?
Yeah.
Quite a huge difference. So an SPV node, for one, can run without a node or with one. It runs better with one. It can do more. It can turn into an explorer. Without a node, it can act like an SV node. See what I mean? Because the SV nodes, 12 peers are peering with the SPV node, and we're gossiping information, and that's my peer-to-peer line. So what you're doing is you're creating the peer-to-peer line to the miners through the SPV node. See what I mean? You're getting your data to the miners through SPV, through SV node, through those operators who are running nodes. And so the cool part is how the alchemy plays out when you hook up SPV nodes to SV nodes. And that's like where it turns into a compatibility layer between the two node eras, SV node and Terra node. Eventually, Terra node is going to be the main dog. And so you want, it's an application layer that didn't exist, that now exists to help curb what's slowing the whole thing down. And I mean, you can still do it all with SV node and everything, but we needed to get these pieces out there so everyone can just stand up their own sovereign system, individual.
Nice.
And there's more of them out there. You see what happens, it'll just take off. And then we can have our app explosion on Bitcoin, which is like just ready to burst at the seams. But the hard part is all this node stuff. And what's cool, we can get Electrum wallet back and running, and Twitch is back, and all kinds of badass platforms are shooting up. You know, so this is the time, and I think all the hardship we had was needed to calibrate us to be able to do something like that.
Yeah. And Casey, you shared an important post with me today by the Titan of blockchain. He seems to be he's making well, he's not, he's always been there, but he's making he says that now, I mean, I don't think he's ever said anything like that before. He said something huge about the Clarity Act and all these things that now is the time. Like, I don't know. He's kind of like the Titan, the kind of the wizard behind the machine in a way. He does matter. It's not a centralized system, but there are certain people's voices that matter big time, and he's one of them. I mean, maybe the most. Yeah, he's a big one. If you're there, Casey, did you want to comment on what he said?
Yeah, I just shared it to the nest. It was just, the Clarity Act is on the table right now, and it's very positive statement he made about, for those who've been waiting in the desert for their ship to come in, may I remind you that sea levels are on the rise. Cometh the hour, cometh the protocol. This is BSV's hour. So I think he's very optimistic about what the outcome of the Clarity Act is going to be.
Yeah, definitely has something to. So we know that Connor and then Alexander Mann had a big influence on the Clarity Act and what's happening. I haven't read the versions of where we're at now. I'd like to see why he believes it's so optimistic about it. For anyone who wants to read about the implications here, he posted this as well. Wow. So there's something, it's probably he's saying it's going to pass at the very last minute is what he's predicting. And it's going to be a big influential piece. So he's supportive of the Clarity Act. That's good to know. It's good to know. Titan of blockchain, dude. And by the way,
Yeah.
Pete Davidson is playing Calvin Ayre in the movie. And I don't know anything about Pete Davidson, but this guy, dude, is badass. I saw one thing with him and I was impressed. So I think Calvin's going to be portrayed pretty well. Go ahead, Casey.
I was looking for it. It was Jeff Harris, which I think is that light BSV guy, did a really good interview with Anil and Todd.
Oh, yeah.
Proof of Claim podcast, Scale or Die Trying, that I think is relevant to everything that you guys were just talking about with the Clarity Act and everything too. That's got some good juice in it. And then also, I just want to mention while looking for that Anil said they are going to be interviewing Siggy coming up here soon on their channel, it looks like. So keep an eye out for that.
I'm just waiting for Adam back when that one's going to happen. I can't wait.
My
hero.
Anil, I just saw he released some kind of Bitcoin Scales, a short film about Ziggy. It's like him as a Viking.
Oh, well, I see that here. I'm gonna throw that in the chat. Yeah, that looks fun. I'll watch that when we're done here.
They have
That's
like
cool.
Ziggy as like a Viking, like taking back, like conquering Bitcoin back. Like,
Oh, I love it. He is a Viking. That's great. Good stuff.
Yeah. So this is Ryan. Do you want to? So ultimately, we had the ceremony thing with the ceremony with Indelible with the first public launch of the agents paying the agents. Do you want to just talk on the significance of that?
Yeah, I think X402 is the way. I can see why BSVA is focused on that, and they've been for a minute. I see why the hackathon happened. It taught me so much to the point where I never stopped building towards that once I picked it up. And I ended up taking Indelible and bolting that to it, but integrating it. It kind of like took over Indelible. You see what I mean? So its strengths are to help you to build more agents, and you can make your own agents and customize your own agents for however you want to do it. And that's live right now. So not only did I get into the agents in X402, I made Indelible. I figured out that's what Indelible was supposed to do. And that's what came out today. I keep saying that, but so I've been rocking this for a while, and I get a lot of good work done with it. And everything I do is built by Indelible, So I just kind of hung on there. I forgot what your question was. Honestly, my brain's kind of cooked, but I'm still good. Can you remind me what you asked me again?
I was asking about the significance of the ceremony, but I think before we go back to that, let me ask you about what your regular person who's not doing this, who doesn't have what you have right now, what would the benefit be for them once they start using all this agents? What would you say that some of the benefits are going to be for them?
For what kind of user? Someone who's looking to use the agents, or just use Indelible in general as a pro user?
Well, take me as an example, right? I start using. I want to use the agents. What would I get? What would Casey get like from it?
So that's what will fully unlock it for you. So therefore, you can use these agents to enhance your work. You didn't have that before. You were working with the bones of Indelible, like let's say version 1.0, if that's what that was. And this is 2.0, and 2.0 is like 10 1.0s. And so it's whether you want to use them or not. They're there for you. Your Claude will know about them. He'll use them with you.
What do I need to press to get access to them now? Do I say run? What's the keystroke I need to press?
So that handbook I sent you has all those answers. I recommend doing it on a fresh day.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that on a fresh day, and I'll run the handbook in there, and I'll upgrade my bot. Maybe I should do that on the live thing.
Get the beach. No,
that would be cool. Demonstrate it live. Break it on the live feed. Let's see it break.
I need one too.
I know we need that.
Casey, what was that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not realize that my mic was undone, guys.
Hot mic.
So it's the significance of tonight.
Why don't we cut it there then, Ryan? It sounds like we could do the next show, and I'll do the Indelible. I'll do the Indelible agent upgrade. What should we call that? I'll think about. I'll read through it and call it something like launching the agents or something on my own thing.
Yeah, you crack open that dinosaur egg, and out comes some Bitcoin agents with their own identities, man. It's never been out there before like that. Yeah.
If we could set it, dude, I'm trying to think like tomorrow or the next day, when maybe Sunday. I don't know. Like what?
Let's do a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday would be good. Let's do it on a Saturday. Saturday's good. I can be settled in by Saturday, and I can do a space. So.
Oh, cool.
What would be cool would be like Saturday afternoon, probably. Realistically, your time.
Oh, it's all good. I'm flexible, dude. I'm chilling on Saturdays.
All right, let's do it. All right, y'all. Cam, cool. Good job, man. Thank you for that, Cam. You really came through big time.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you, bro. You nailed that, man. I couldn't have done it as good as you would. So I appreciate you being here. I was gonna have see these developers on Solana do it because it ties to some banned words from OpenAI. We should drop that in the nest right now and then
Game
close
tight.
on
What's
that.
up, baby? Game tight. Thanks a lot, man. Much love, Pete Pago. Who's it? Pete guy? Really cool. Shoot, Jack, Bitcoin SV, the attorney, my buddy over there, and he's in the Midwest. Attorney that I talked to before. Really cool guy. Vince out in Miami, Florida. Conlair, Game tight. Oakland, represent. Indelible, Jack, retired engineer. Pete Pagoda. I like this guy. Craig is Satoshi. Shout the moon. What's up? Mean Green. Brown Eagle. Stephen Ochoa. What's up? Alien Cheverly. Ian. Oh yeah, Ian. We talked to him before. What's up, Ian? Lead guitarist. We talked to him before. House of Ukuro. Reed McGrew. What's up? Cheng Wei Kai from China. My man. Love these Chinese people, man. I love that place. I like Chiang Mai, Thailand, but I like Guangzhou. Craig, and then Jimmy Glassy. Thank you, everybody, for coming up. We'll do it again. Let's do it. Shoot for Saturday, man. We'll do another show, and we'll go through and launch these agents on my machine. Make it live, dude. So thank you, everybody. We'll wrap it there. All right. See you at the top, and next time.